Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are a new subscriber. If this is the first or second video that you're watching, I really hope you enjoy this content. In this video, I'm going to share 10 things that you need to know about New Zealand. This video will be helpful for anyone who's just in the process of migrating to New Zealand or have just recently arrived. I've lived in New Zealand for over 12 years with my husband, and both of us together have 2 children who are currently in primary school. We live in Wellington, which is the capital of New Zealand and often referred to as the coolest little capital in the world. When COVID hit a couple of years ago and the whole world went into lockdown, New Zealand did as well. But in 2022, the borders are now open and there are so many more people migrating to this amazing country. I've already done a video where I've shared tips as you prepare to move to New Zealand. This video, we're going to look at 10 things that you need to know about New Zealand as a new migrant. The first thing that you'll notice as soon as you land here is the natural beauty of this nation. Also notice the lack of pollution. The air is clean, crisp, and fresh. Over the weekend, people go on hikes, they go fishing, they go on bushwalks, they get on their cycles or their motorbikes. Some even walk up a mount. So there are endless activities that you could do for free and indulge in this natural beauty. If you wanted to get away for the weekend here, which is something that a lot of people do, all it takes is about 30 to 60 minutes of travel, excluding traffic of course. But if you were just going away on a regular weekend, it's a really quick drive to get to your location to rest and relax. One important thing to add to the natural beauty and the reason why people love going outdoors here in New Zealand is because there are no poisonous creatures, nothing that's going to sting you or bite you that'll kill you. So a lot of people love going outdoors because it is safe. Education is fully funded for New Zealand citizens or residents. You have the option of private schools or government-funded schools. There are schools in most suburbs, so you don't have to travel far. Kids here tend to walk or bike to school. It is really safe in most neighborhoods. Our kids tend to walk or bike to school, and if the weather is pretty bad, we tend to drop them. Both my husband and I come from an educational background where there was lots of studying, lots of homework, and lots of really hard exams. But here, the education is so different. It's definitely a lot more practical. I remember when our daughter started primary school, I went and had a chat with the principal to ask them why are they not giving them homework, what are they meant to do after they come from school. It's really interesting to hear the principal say that after having a day at school from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. they're mostly pretty tired as 5-year-olds. I've never heard of that, and so that's why they don't have homework, but they encourage the parents to use every opportunity that's around them, whether it's like when they're cooking or they're reading a magazine or taking the kids to the library. Everything is educational here, so the whole educational system is so much more different from what most migrants are used to. I should say that because you will get a shock at how the kids actually enjoy school here. It's been really great to see how our kids think and analyze things differently versus how I went to school, for example. You memorized everything word for word and you would just spit it all out on the paper for your homework or at your examination. Schools also offer extracurricular activities during school hours. So I'm talking about swimming, music lessons, speech and drama lessons, etc. You can of course put your children in extracurricular activities after school hours or over the weekend, which is what we do, but it's really nice to have one school term where our kids go to swimming lessons during the school hours with their classmates. Now, if you're arriving in the country with a preschooler or an infant, there are some amazing opportunities for you as a mom or as a parent to connect with the local community. There are coffee groups, there are mom groups or parent groups on Facebook that are based in most areas that you can connect in here in New Zealand. Check with the local community center, or best is the local church in your area, because I know most churches open up their place like on a Wednesday morning or a Thursday morning and put on coffee and invite moms or grandmas in the area, and they've got music and playtime and it's a whole lot of fun. So you'll definitely not miss out making connections if you come here with the baby. One of the things that you need to sort right after you arrive here in New Zealand is healthcare. In New Zealand, we have something called as a GP. So what is a GP? GP is general practitioners. These are the people that we go to, and they are the ones who treat all of our common medical illnesses. But if they feel that you need to be referred to the hospital or any other medical service for specialist or urgent medical treatment, they'll definitely do that. Your GP is your primary medical care. So if you've given birth, or if you've had an accident or some sort of medical situation that landed you in the emergency department in the hospital, when you get discharged, all of the medical information, all of the paperwork will be automatically sent to your GP. So when you go and have a follow-up with your GP and talk through what has happened, you don't have to take any of the paper documents with you. All of it will be scanned to your GP. All children aged 13 and under who are eligible for publicly funded healthcare don't have to pay any money when you go visit the GP. Isn't that awesome? You sometimes might have to pay maybe $5 for certain specialist scripts, but if you needed to get Pamel, which is Panadol for your child, it is free. Similarly, children aged 17 and under who are also eligible for this publicly funded healthcare service also get free dental care. The service is called Be Healthy. The Year Van also provides free checks for anyone who is under the age of 18. This service is provided by a registered nurse who is trained in your health. Now let's talk about babies and infants. The Royal New Zealand Plunket Trust, also known as Plunket here, provides a range of free services for children under the age of 5. This is amazing because they focus on well-being and development of your child. They also do a really good check on us as mums as well. Now, when you give birth, roughly around 6 weeks, your midwife will hand over the care of the baby and you onto Plunket, and then Plunket will arrange appointments. The first one, they'll come to your house and have a visit, and then from then on you just start taking your baby in. After they turn 4, they will call you and set up a before school check. This is amazing because they check your child's overall development, and if they're ready for school, they also check their eyesight and their hearing, both of which is really important in that first year in primary school. Moving on to traffic rules. In New Zealand, we drive on the left-hand side of the road. It's similar to the UK and Asian countries. Now, even if you come from a country that already drives on the left-hand side of the road, it's really important to read up on the rules here in New Zealand because it's slightly different. For example, people here drive much slower when you compare to countries like the US or the Middle East or Asian countries. People drive much slower. And I wonder if it's because the roads are curvy. It's really important to respect the speed limit here, so make sure you are aware of all of the speed limits in the area that you are moving to. One thing that people do here, which is really interesting, is that when they need to merge into the lane or they're trying to join into the highway or the motorway, people patiently queue up and wait until people on the road give them way. People are not honking, people are not trying to, just ram themselves into the lane, but they wait really patiently. Now, if you come from the Middle East where I was born and raised, it's really different. It could be a massive shock because people here wait, they don't start honking, they are very patient and they are willing to queue up even if they are in a hurry. While we're on the topic of traffic rules, let's talk about the pedestrian crossing or the crosswalk. Now over here, people tend to slow down, they look left and right to make sure there's no one walking closer to the pedestrian crossing or the crosswalk. And it's really nice that the drivers tend to keep an eye out as they get closer to the crosswalk, and because of that, people are really confident here to just step out into the crosswalk. So when you are driving in New Zealand for the first time, make sure that you're keeping your eyes out for these crosswalks or pedestrian crossing, and if you see one, just slow down. Even if you don't see people coming, just slow down because you'll never know. There might be a child or an adult just stepping out confidently to cross the pedestrian crossing, because over here people tend to respect those who are using the pedestrian crossing or the crosswalk. Before we continue on with the rest of the things that I want to share, I thought this would be a nice moment to pause and just say, hey, if you've been enjoying this video thus far, don't forget to give this video a like, because every time I get a like on my videos, it gives me feedback that people are enjoying my content. So don't forget to do that right now, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Number 6, there are no plastic bags here in New Zealand. Supermarkets tend to give these paper bags for about 10 to 20 cents. So when I do my online shopping, before I check out, I make sure I click that so that they can put them in paper bags for me, and then they leave it in the click and collect area. You can also buy reusable bags for about $1. You can find these in most stores, in the malls, so it's really easy to find. So one thing to always have in your car is a collection of reusable bags. I nicely fold them and pop into a box and put them in my trunk. Even in schools, if they find their students are bringing a lot more plastic packaging in their lunchbox, the school will email the parents, like all the parents, and then just remind them to not bring in single-use plastic packaging. So like cling wrap, you substitute those for like a beeswax wrap or something like that. So be conscious of that when you arrive here. There is no plastic use here in New Zealand. Number 7, fish and chips. Just like the coffee scene, fish and chips is a really big thing. When I arrived here in New Zealand, I had moved from the United States. Prior to that, it was Kuwait. And let me tell you, over there people don't eat fish and chips like they do here. Then the weather is beautiful here. It's really common, even on a weekday, for parents to head home from work, get their kids ready, head to the local fish and chip shop, and then head straight to the beach and have dinner there. So what is fish and chips? So it's deep fried battered fish, and of course the chips are deep fried as well, and it's packaged using newspaper. So they kind of like flip it over and tuck it in, and it's packed out like this, and they hand it out to you. So people really love it here, and they love to eat it with tomato sauce or ketchup. If you're a non-vegetarian, this is something that you must try. If you're a vegetarian, you must try the hot chips, because people are really into hot chips with their tomato sauce here. They also have something here called kumara chips, which is sweet potato fries, and they serve it with aioli. Number 8 is laundry. One of the culture shocks that I had was in the rental that we moved into after I arrived here. It had a washing machine but no dryer. And that's when I learned that Kiwis like to air dry their clothes. From where I come from, you don't do that. You wash your clothes and then you tend to move it from the washing machine to the dryer. That's how you do it. Over the last 12 years, I've slowly transitioned to air drying our clothes as well. So if there's like knitted stuff or delicates or stuff that I know is going to shrink in the washing machine, and if the weather is amazing, I tend to make good use of that for all of our bedding as well. I just wash it first thing in the morning and then chuck it on the line. We have a really large clothesline in our home, and so we definitely make good use of it. I also must mention that yes, we do own a dryer, and it's really helpful in the cooler months, and I don't like waiting for days for my clothes to dry, so I always use that as well, especially in winter. But if it's sunny and a great day for the clothes to dry, I'll definitely check it out, but otherwise it does still go into the dryer. Just a few things to cover if you're moving into a rental when you arrive here in New Zealand. Number 1, bathrooms here have a heated towel rail, which is amazing in winter when your towels take a really long time to dry. I understand that not all rentals come with whiteware, so I'm talking about fridge, dishwasher, microwave. Our first rental had all of that, but I recently heard that it's not the case at the moment. So the best place to get it secondhand would be Trade Me or Facebook Marketplace, or you can go to Harvey Norman or Noah Leeming if you want to buy brand new fridge, dishwasher, washing machine, dryer, microwave. Next, there is no central cooling or heating in all homes here, so this is something that you need to check, because I know for a lot of countries it is quite common, but it's not common here. So when you're going and checking out rentals, check if it's double glazed, check if there is a heat pump. If the property isn't brand new, check for mold, and also talk to the agent about issues around dampness in that property. Finally, mode of transportation. If you don't plan to buy a car as soon as you arrive, guess what? The public transport system here is great. You can train or bus to work. We own a car, but my preference when I get into work is to take the bus. There's a bus stop really close to our home, and the bus also drops me really close to work. I don't have to deal with parking fees in the city, because you know what, they do add up. So you can bus to work, you can train to work, and guess what? If you want to bike to work, you can do that too, because there are lots of bike lanes here in New Zealand. I really hope you enjoyed this video. These were the 10 things that came to my mind, but I know there's definitely a lot more to share. If you have any questions or want some clarification, don't forget to drop me a comment or a question down below, or you can also get in touch with me via Instagram and message me there. Alright guys, I look forward to seeing you with a brand new video next Wednesday. Don't forget to give this video a like, and also if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on. As I mentioned in the start of this video, I also have another helpful tips video for anyone who's in the process of moving to New Zealand at the moment. So I'm going to tag that right over there. Make sure you click on it because I think you'll find that really helpful too. Bye everybody!